exciting episode in Songs Nobody Asked Me For. My name's Nigel. I am the singer and songwriter of the indie funk band The Curve, based in Plymouth in the UK. I think I have to say, please subscribe to this channel. If you do comment on anything, let me know how you think of anything that's going and what I'm saying at the moment. I'm trying to do these all in one take at the moment, and maybe that will change. But yeah, I've always been quite good at doing this with songs, actually, like, when we're recording, getting one take. So maybe there's a little bit of pride in it. So I've got to get this in one take. And it feels a bit more authentic in a way to sort of maybe try and get it in one take, because then I'm telling you properly about how I feel. It's been an interesting process since starting this, because I've really been quite consumed by this. So, I'm thinking that I was going to talk about, why I like to play, want to play original music, and why I don't play covers. I don't want to do covers. And it's really taken me down quite a deep path of this, and really made me think that this is the essence of what I want to do this blog, this YouTube channel about, really. This is for songwriters who don't get anywhere. This is for people that feel and do write amazing songs and just don't have anything happen with them. I've got some strange noise happening. I think it's my guitar slowly slipping down the chair over there. Sorry, where was I? Yes, this is for songwriters who don't feel they achieve anything. People I've met around the circuit who are really frustrated because they're trying to do original material and can't, or who end up having to be in a covers band because they can't get anywhere. Or lots of really great young people, young musicians I see on the circuit as well. There's quite a few young women guitar players and keyboard players, and they're great, but I kind of feel they have to. And when I talk to some of them, they know they have to play 3/4 of their sets covers, and then maybe they can slip in one of their own songs, and then people go, oh, that's really nice. Trying to be able to be a person who is known for your songs is really, really hard. And for everybody who achieves that, there must be hundreds, thousands of people who don't achieve that, really. Many of whom would give up, and I'm kind of one of those old lags who hasn't given up. Probably that's me being pretty stupid, really. But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. I've got to stick with that. I'm going to pause here. So having said I do this in one take, because there's some funny noise behind me, I'm going to make sure I know what it is. I haven't left the door open. The dog's running around in the street. I'll be back. Dum bum di dum bum 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 be dum bum bum. Boundy boundy bouncy bouncy bum di bum bum bum. If you're only listening, you won't know what this is. Bum ba dum ba dum ba dum bum 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 bum. Well, who knows what the fuck that was? I don't bloody know. Anyway, songwriters, people who've tried, people who've achieved, people who've stopped, people who carry on. You're the main bulk of people out there trying to do music, and I was having a discussion with somebody a little while back who was trying to encourage me to play a lot of covers in our set. And I just kind of said, well, look, at the end of the day, if nobody had ever done any original music, there wouldn't be any covers. And I'm at a point now where I really enjoy playing music, but I would only enjoy doing it if I was doing my own material. And so I just stick with it because I can. It's not like I'm expecting to become the next big thing, so I can just try and enjoy it. But I think part of this was just the growing frustration at times, at times when you're playing such a great gig and you know that you're doing so well and you're sounding really good, and you've got 4 people and a dog come along, or people come and go because they don't know the songs, and that's okay. But I think that the songwriting bit and the bit about playing original material is the bit that really is what I was interested in this podcast. I'm hoping that connects with some people. And maybe makes you think about that, even if you're not a musician, just to think, wow, yeah, maybe I should go and, there's lots of things, support original music, support new bands and that, but, that's hard. It's hard. So I thought this would be one episode, and I think maybe I might do this in 2 parts. I'm trying to make these about 15 minutes long so that, they're not too onerous. And again, if you're watching this, just let me know. Is that too long? Is that not enough? I don't know. I thought I've thought a lot today. I took the dogs out for a walk. I spent all my time thinking about how did I become someone that was interested in writing my own material rather than someone who was good at playing, really good at playing other people's material and playing songs. And I think that involves some sort of little step back, really, in time. I come from a background where I think that the messages I got as a child really were very much about know your place, really. And I think maybe there's a little bit of sort of secret rebellion from that. And I say secret because I've always been a proper lovely sort of person and I'm not really very rebellious even in my teens. But this was my little secret rebellion, really, was to sort of say, no, I'm not going to stick to doing these things. I want to achieve something with this. Even though, yeah, my parents probably would have said, oh, it's all very good. It's a nice little hobby, but, you need a job and know your place. And no, we don't stick out. We don't sort of make a big thing. And I've had to resist that over time. But I think it meant I spent a lot of time in my room as a teenager playing my guitar. I said at the beginning that I'd first of all, when I was about 6, I'd had some classical guitar lessons, and that was kind of great. I did that for a few years, and although I can't play any of that, what it did give me was it gave me strong hands, and it gave me an ability to notice melody and timing, a little bit of reading music, but I can't really read music these days. And I'm a great finger picker, really good at finger picking, even though I don't do it very often, but I am. It's a strength. But I think from that I went into sort of somebody was teaching me, giving me lessons, who was a folk guitarist, and that was okay. It was kind of not really me, but it was, and again, it lent me into a place of, and this is where I think I'm going with this, lent me into a place of learning chords, playing chords and singing. So, because I can sing and I would play along and sing, play chords and sing. And as I moved on from that and into a place where really I just did my own thing, really. I used to do that via trying to play songs, as you do at that age, of bands that you liked. But the bands that I kind of liked, slightly embarrassing for some people, but for me, well, there's still bands I listen to. And I was particularly into early Genesis. This is really, yeah, that's for some of you that are old enough to remember, that might be a sort of shame thing to own, but I don't care. Because I think a lot of the music I listened to made me the songwriter that I am, really. And the thing about Genesis, they were really, really complex in what they did. I got some of their songbooks. And songbooks, I've got one here. This is one really early one I had. And some of you will know this songbook. And it's kind of, maybe you don't, but this is called The Beatles Complete. I think it's probably worth £1 or £2 now, because it's got this amazing sort of artwork in it as well. And sort of photographs and interpretations and pictures. And I loved it as a kid, and it's got all these different songs and everything. But it was the first book I started working on, and the first book I started adapting, because when I tried to play a Beatles song and I just wanted to play the chords and sing it, often the chords weren't quite right. Sometimes the chords were just completely wrong in there, the little chords they'd written down, because we didn't have tab or anything like that then. So I'd have to change them, or I'd adapt it to a sort of different, more interesting chord. So that started me really down this path of being able to play chords. Now the Genesis songs, I think if I'd been into Led Zepp, or I'd been into Deep Purple, my brother was into Deep Purple, some of these, sort of rock bands, heavier bands, I think I'd have wanted to learn those guitar riffs. And maybe it would have taken me down this path as a guitarist. But instead, I wanted to sort of play these songs so I could sing them. And to do that, I had to learn the chords. And then from that, I got really interested in chords and adapting chords, and really getting into sort of what I would call either harmonic chords or jazz chords, or and there are some chords I still use, that I really love. And I kind of got my little my lovely Yamaha guitar, which is really nice. That's my first plug, Yamaha, if you're listening and you want to give me some money or send me some guitars, that'd be lovely. I don't think that's going to happen. Just trying to work out how I do this. I'm going to put this here, and this is a C, what I call a C maj 7th. It's one of my favourite chords, an adaptation of F sharp minor. They work very well together, actually. C maj, you can take that all the way up, or bring it down to a B flat. I love that chord. So I got very into these sort of melodic, as I say, I feel sort of jazz orientated chords. Wow, I'm playing for you for the first time. Not very well. It's hard to get. I'm on one of these chairs with arms, and it's kind of quite difficult to. I've got to work all this stuff out, So there's parts, I think, that's what I'm saying, and maybe somebody can relate to this, maybe you can't, of wanting to play the guitar and be the best guitarist you can, and play lead and play. One of my sons is an amazing guitar player, and because nowadays, you know, he could use Audacity to record all the parts, and he would do, I mean, play some amazing. I've heard him doing John Mayer stuff where he's recorded all the parts and he can play all that lead, and John Mayer's an amazing guitarist. I can't do that. I developed this sort of singing and playing sort of thing and an interest in chords and chord structures from the music I listened to, I think. And I think what I created in myself was bringing out the artist in myself. So I was kind of thinking of this walk in this morning, that you have musicians and you have artists, and you have some people who are blessed to be both, you know. But I'm not really a guitarist in that I couldn't. You wouldn't have me in a jam. You know, if you had one of them super groups, you know, and you've got these guitarists, you've got Eric Clapton playing, you've got Prince playing, and you've got these incredible guitarists. That wouldn't be me. I'd be, even if I was really famous, oh, there's Nigel there. Oh, he's in the background strumming his guitar, you know, because I can't do that stuff very well. I can do it on recording. I could work stuff out and then do it, but it's not really my skill. So I think this is like, artist is not the perfect word because it makes you think of painting, and I'm really not, or it does me, and I'm not really good at that sort of thing at all. I'm terrible at it, in fact. But if you imagine you have these amazing painters who could recreate a really famous picture, you know, and I think that's such a skill, or touch up and repair something in this incredible way, so it looks just exactly as it was, or forges, you know, people who can do this stuff. It's incredible. And maybe that's what a guitarist is like in some ways. You know, you get a guy who plays who's a session musician, and they're incredible, and they have this ability to recreate, sometimes slightly adapt, but recreate sound. Now, to say that I'm an artist, I'm not bigging up one or the other. I'm just saying who I think I am. I'm a person for whom the guitar is my palette. The guitar is my instrument within which I create something. That's what I got more and more interested in. And I think it comes from those roots of trying to play a song just so that I could sing it, rather than trying to recreate the song exactly as it was. That makes sense. It was always a joy when I played something that did sound a bit like it was, but that was what I was into. And I got so good at this for a while. There was a period when I went to university, I was kind of known. I was with friends, people who they could say to me, "Oh, you know, oh, play us a song, play Alison by Elvis Costello." There's no guitar tabs or whatever the software or the sites you can go onto. So I have to say to them, yeah, I can play that. Hang on a minute. And I wouldn't know it. I'd know the song, but I'd sit there 5 minutes playing around on the chords. Yeah, I got it. Okay. And then I'd play it and everyone would sing, you know, a group of people, and kind of used to enjoy that for a while. But early on, I started putting chords and together to sort of develop my own melodies, my own sense of lyrics, and wasn't very good at words. I think I said that before. I was very cheesy and corny, and what I've tried to learn over a long time now is how to avoid cliches where you can. I mean, I'm sure I perform and create lots of cliches, but I don't know, am I straying here or am I sitting here? It's interesting to me. I don't know if it's interesting to you, those two parts, and there are mixes of all of that, but this is where I am, heading off here, getting more and more interested in being able to strum, being able to play. I'm a good rhythm guitarist, you know, and our songs, if you hear some of them, often have a strong guitar rhythm going through them. And John, our wonderful bassist, I think both benefits from that and also finds that very frustrating sometimes. Sometimes he'll get frustrated because he'll feel like, you're doing this rhythm bit and where do I fit? And then other times it liberates him to almost play more of a lead on the bass, or to be free to not feel he's got to stick with that rhythm, because that's what I'm providing, you know. And I've developed that as part of the song structure. I don't know whether my passion for doing this is coming across, but I think almost that's the first answer to this question of, why do I want to keep playing original material? Why do I want to sort of keep writing? Why do I want to keep doing this? Even though so often performing is a slap in the face, because you get one or two people who go, oh yeah, we like it, man. And occasionally you get somebody follow you from a gig or something, but you know, you don't get a lot. And I could get very down about that, but I don't, because I get such an excitement and a vibe from the creative writing process and doing it, even though Clearly I'm not doing something right out there, and I don't think it's about the songs. And maybe again somebody could tell me that, or give you a view. I'm not, tell me that because I know who I am and what I do, but maybe you can tell me your views about that. What do you think? I'm going to pause there because I could just go on and on. I'm getting really down a route here, but I think I'm going to make that sort of part one. And my theory of this is to go to different topics, and I'll come back to a part two at some point fairly soon, and continue thinking about how I've evolved into this space of writing songs and how I've become that. And there are songwriters and people who can write riffs, people who can come up with little riffs and little things, but actually the construction and creation of a song is like, yeah, I think from what I've seen on documentaries and phrases, it's like how you construct a complex picture or you paint something. It's kind of takes time and there's parts to it and layers to it. But yeah, we'll talk some more about that. Okay, lovely to speak to you. I'm going to go on a long bike ride somewhere now, I think, because it's dry and it's good for me to do. Please do subscribe to this channel. This is new for me, and my parents' voice is saying to me, know your place. You shouldn't be doing this. This is silly. This is a bit embarrassing that you're doing this. Whereas for me, I'm trying to follow that idea I've been reading and watching about, which says this is a slow process, and if I keep doing this, maybe more and more people will start to become interested in it. If there's a market for this, I hope there is. So do subscribe. Let me know if you're enjoying this. Ask me any questions, or put anything on there. I'll try and respond to that. And yeah, do check out the band. You can find us just by searching #MusicTheCurve. Yeah, just check us out and see what you think. Let me know, and I will see you again soon. Have a lovely day. Bye now. 'Cause now is in love.